health educator at the Department of Public Health. And today we're going to talk about nutrition. So it's a lot of basic nutrition. We're going to talk about the nutrients that we need in our body. We're going to talk about the plate, the MyPlate, and we're going to also learn how to read food labels. Do you guys know how to read food labels? A little bit? Alright, so we're going to go a little bit into more detail about it so you guys can see the different things that are listed in the food label. So let's go ahead and start. So good nutrition is a nourishment for the body, and we need nutrition in order for our body to grow, in order for us to have the energy we need for the day, and for replenishment. We use whatever we eat for our body, either vitamins, nutrients, so we need to keep giving our body what we lost. Okay. There are over 40 nutrients that we need, and there are 6 major categories of these nutrients. So for example, one of those nutrients is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates provide us with energy to every cell in the body, 4 calories per gram. So when I say that a certain kind of nutrient provides us energy, that means it's going to come in the form of calories. Okay? There are 3 different categories from the carbohydrates, and one of them is sugar, which is a simple carb. And then we have starches, which is a complex carb. And then there's fiber, which is another complex carb. When it comes to carbohydrates, we want to focus more on the complex carbs than the simple carbs, because when we eat simple carbs, it gets digested really fast. So if we eat, for example, a candy versus a piece of bread, the piece of bread will keep us make us feel full longer than the piece of candy. Another nutrient is fats, and they provide us with energy, which is 9 calories per gram. So fat is what's going to give us the most calories, okay? It's going to give us the most energy, but if we don't use that energy, what happens? What happens to those calories that we don't use?
It stays over time.
Yeah, it gets stored in our body, and it gets stored as fats, okay? So our body says, hey, I didn't use it today, maybe I'll use it tomorrow, and it gets stored as fat. Okay, so there are 3 different types of fats. There's a saturated fat, which is solid at room temperature. Can you guys think of anything that's solid at room temperature? Butter, okay. Lard also. So these include the trans fats, and these raise the bad cholesterol. In our body, we have 2 types of cholesterol. We have the LDL, which is a low-density lipoprotein, and that's the bad cholesterol. And then we have HDL, which is a high-density lipoprotein, and that one's the good cholesterol. Okay, so the good cholesterol kind of fights off the bad cholesterol. So the monounsaturated and the polyunsaturated fats are the ones that are a little bit better for us. So these are the ones that are liquid at room temperature, and these can help us reduce that bad cholesterol. So if we eat more of the good cholesterol, again, it can help us reduce the bad cholesterol. Oils are part of the fats, and although it's not a food group, they do provide essential nutrients, okay? So for example, like canola oil, corn oil, olive oil, those are some fats. Foods that are naturally high in oils are, for example, your olives. Fish and avocados are really high in the HDL. Okay? And only small amounts of oils are recommended. Okay? Just because it's good for us doesn't mean that we're going to eat a lot of it. Okay? I have a little funny story about my mom. When I first started going to college, I took a nutrition class, and I told my mom, because she's always had high cholesterol, I told her, hey mom, if you start eating like seeds, nuts, those have good cholesterol, can help you reduce the bad cholesterol. So she started eating sunflower seeds. She had bags of sunflower seeds in her car, at work, in the kitchen, in her room, everywhere. So she started eating it. About a month or 2 into it, she went to the doctor to get her physical, and her cholesterol was lower, her good cholesterol was high, but she had gained like 10 pounds. Okay, because of all the fats that she was eating. Okay, so just because it's good doesn't mean that it's really good. Okay, we don't want to abuse of it. So some health benefits of the oils, for example, it increases our energy and stamina. It improves our brain function. It speeds up our recovery and healing processes, and it assists in many other body processes. So it helps our body function the way it's supposed to. Protein is another essential nutrient that we need in our bodies, and they provide us with 4 calories per gram. Okay? They build and maintain our body tissue, they regulate body processes, transports nutrients and oxygen throughout our body, and there are 2 different types of protein. There's the animal protein, which is a complete protein, And then there is a plant protein, which is an incomplete protein. So what that means is that if you only eat plant proteins, for example, beans, you have to mix them up with other types of foods, for example, rice, to make it a complete protein to get all the nutrients that an animal protein would have. Next we have vitamins, and that's another essential nutrient that we need in our bodies. And vitamins is also needed in small amounts. Okay, you don't have to go to Vitamin World and get the vitamins that say 1,000% of vitamin A. Okay, we need what our body needs, and it's not 1,000%. So we need to partner up with other nutrients in order to build, maintain, and repair body tissues. Okay, vitamins do not provide any energy. So if it doesn't provide us any energy, it doesn't give us what? Calories, good job. So we have two different types of vitamins. We have fat-soluble vitamins, which are your A, D, E, and K, which get absorbed through fats. And then we have the water-soluble, which are your C and your B complex. Okay. So do you guys think that you can get all the vitamins you need from a well-balanced diet, or do you guys need to go get supplements? Supplements? A lot of the time, if we eat what we're supposed to be eating, all the food groups, then we don't need to supplement, okay? But if all we do is eat hot Cheetos and Coke, then we do need to supplement and get the vitamins that we're not getting in our foods. Minerals, the same thing as vitamins, essential but needed in small amounts. Again, you need to partner up with other nutrients. Mostly vitamins and minerals go together, okay? So if you need a vitamin and a mineral for them to function the way they need to. They do not provide us any energy, so they don't give us calories. And these are, for example, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, iron, iodine, fluoride, and there's a lot more. And water, another essential nutrient that we need, it helps us regulate our body temperature. Like right now I'm sweating because I'm hot, okay? Removes waste products, prevent dehydration. Our body uses the water that we drink, okay? So for example, it's going to use it for our digestive system and other parts of our body. And it does not provide any energy. Okay, so if you drink water, you're not going to be drinking any calories. Now, if you start adding things to your water, that's when you start adding calories to that water. So this is what a balanced meal looks like. Before, a lot of you grew up with the pyramid, the food pyramid, but now they changed it to the plate so that you can actually see how your plate is supposed to look like when you incorporate all the food products. Okay? So for example, if you miss a food group at meals, you want to serve it as a snack. So if you don't eat vegetables during breakfast, then you want to have like carrots for a snack instead. So how can we measure? A lot of the times when we go out to eat, we don't know how much we're eating. So for example, if you use your hand, your fist, if you do a fist, half of your fist is 1 cup, okay? 1 ounce is whatever you can grab in your hand. 1 tablespoon is the tip of your thumb. 1 teaspoon is the tip of your finger. 3 ounces is about the size of your palm, and this is to measure, for example, like chicken, meats, and you want to have it as thick as your palm. Okay? If it's thicker than that, you want to make sure that it's smaller than your palm. And then 1 whole cup is your fist. Okay? So let's start with the dairy first. For dairy, it includes, for example, milk, yogurt, and cheeses. And it gives you calcium and vitamin D. Okay, so in order for your vitamin D to be absorbed, you need calcium. Okay, you need 3 cups of dairy each day. Again, it can be in milk, cheese, or yogurt. And some examples are, for example, a yogurt parfait, smoothies, glass of milk in meals, or string cheese for a snack. So we need calcium in order to grow. The most important time to build our bones starts at 9 years old. Okay, so right now your bones are growing. You need to make sure that you're drinking or eating your dairy. 9 out of 10 girls and 6 out of 10 boys do not get enough calcium. So again, you want to make sure that you include some sort of dairy in your foods. So for example, here we have cereal, and this is a good cereal or a good meal because it has dairy. Okay, it has cereal, which is part of your grains, and it has strawberries, which is part of your fruits. So with that, you already have 3 food groups. And when it comes to breakfast, we want to aim for at least 3 food groups. Okay? And then here we can have a snack, a yogurt parfait, or just a string cheese. Next we have your vegetables, and vegetables, we want to make sure that we eat a rainbow of colors, okay? Just because we love broccoli doesn't mean that we're just going to eat broccoli all the time. We need to make sure that we vary our vegetables so that we can get all the vitamins and minerals that come from every other vegetable. For example, you can get potassium, vitamin C. You need 2.5 cups each day, okay? So again, it's not that much that we need. Frozen, you can have them frozen, canned, or fresh. You can have them raw, you can have them steamed, or in vegetable juice. A lot of the times if I know I didn't eat any vegetables during the day, I'll just mash them all together and just drink them like that. Next we have fruits. Fruits are sources of many essential nutrients including potassium, fiber, vitamin C, and folate. Again, you only need 1.5 cups each day. You can have them frozen, canned, fresh, or dried. As some snack ideas, you want to slice fruit in a bowl and maybe store it for later. Because when we're hungry, we're going to go for the chips that are easy to grab, and we're not going to go for the orange that you have to peel and then eat. Okay? And we want to make sure that we eat the fruit instead of juice. Why do you guys think we want to eat the fruit instead of the juice?
Because sometimes the juice is artificial.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes it's not really real juice. What else? Yeah, a lot of the juices have a lot of sugar. Okay, so if you drink juices, they actually add a lot more sugar than what the fruit already has. Okay, so we're drinking a lot more calories than what we need. Next, we have our grains, and our grains are, for example, cereals, breads, rice, pasta, oats, tortillas, and we want to make sure that we make at least half of our choices of grains whole wheat. Okay. They provide us with B vitamins, fiber, minerals. We want to have at least 6 ounces each day. So that's not a lot. Okay, so for example, 1 con tortilla is about 1 ounce. Okay, so if you have 3 tacos for lunch and then 3 for dinner, that's already all of your grains for the day. Okay, so if you try to add rice to your meal, you're adding a lot more, and you're adding more calories. Okay. So some example is, for example, a bread with peanut butter and bananas, or quesadillas with vegetables and beans. Okay, so here you have, how many food groups do you have in the quesadillas with vegetables and beans? 3. 4. Okay, because you have your tortilla, which is your grain, your cheese, and then you have your vegetables, and then your beans can be your protein. Okay. So we have the whole grain versus a refined grain, and the whole grain is a whole grain kernel, okay? When you have a refined bread, for example, your white breads, the kernel goes through a mill, and the bran and the germ are removed, okay? So a lot of the dietary fiber, iron, and B vitamins are removed as well. So we want to make sure that we eat the whole grain instead of the refined grain. And next, we have our protein. And protein is, for example, iron, vitamins, and minerals. It gives us iron, vitamins, and minerals. How much? We need 5 to 6 ounces each day, so again, it's not that much that we need. What counts is meat, poultry, seafood, beans, peas, eggs, nuts, and nut butters, and soy. Okay, those are good examples of protein. So meal ideas, again, you want to choose lean meats instead of the high fatty meats and that are lower in sodium. Okay. So for example, if you're going to go out to eat to a fast food restaurant, choose the grilled chicken instead of the red meat. Okay. And again, the grilled chicken is a better choice than red meats. So proteins serve as the building blocks for our bones, our muscles, cartilage, skin, blood, enzymes, hormones, and vitamins. They provide us with calories. Do you guys remember how many calories in the protein? No? It's 4 calories in the protein, okay? And it's good to remember the calories because when you're reading food labels, you can actually calculate that from the food label, okay? So they help us release energy. So protein helps us build muscles. The more muscles we have, the more calories we can burn. Carry the oxygen in the blood and help build tissues, okay? So that's what protein is going to help us with. So again, we want to make sure that we drink plenty of water and milk. Drink a little bit of juice, and if you are going to drink juice,